First time I met Bob Anderson was actually on the set of Lord of the Rings. He turns around and introduces himself and says, well, I'm going to show you a few things that might save your life today, mate. And so he proceeded to show me some basic blocking and thrusting and cutting moves with the sword. The guy who came after him to show me some more says, oh, do you realise who that was? And I was like, no, I don't know. That's Bob Anderson. He used to train Errol Flynn, and he's worked for years in the industry. I said, oh, really? Is that so? Yeah. And he said, oh, and he was Darth Vader. He was actually in Darth Vader's costume, actually doing all the lightsaber work. And I was like, that sort of struck a resonance with me.
Viggo came running in from Los Angeles, and I stuck a sword in his hand, and he had to fight 20 stuntmen almost the same day as he arrived.
And they had all the stunties with their swords at the other end of the room, and Viggo was standing there like looking around like, what next? And then all of a sudden they just charged Viggo and they're like running towards him. He's like had his sword up. Apparently that was his initiation. He didn't run away, so I think Bob was like, okay, I think I can work with this guy.
He had a lot to learn. I thought he did extremely well.
It was hard work to prepare the fights, and it was, demanding physically at times, but it was mostly fun, and it was sort of like a boyhood dream come true. I got to really do it for real. There were real enemies. It was a real sword.
It's important that the people you're working with trust you, and you trust them. You effectively work out this sort of highly detailed choreography weeks and weeks in advance of when you actually get to do it on set. And then really the tough thing becomes about stamina, especially when you're wearing armour and leather and weighed down by all that sort of stuff.
I thought it was some of the best choreography I had seen in this type of movie.
A lot of the stuff the stuntmen put together themselves, and they did a very good job of it.
He's much more than a sword master, and I think the directors have been well pleased with his collaboration.
This sort of regal, refined, cultured kind of a gentleman in the midst of all this chaos.
It was an honor to work for him, and I learned a lot, not just about sword fighting, but just about being a man, about being a gentleman, about how to deal with people, and a respect for the weapon.
These swords were very well done, very attractive. John Howe's designs were superb.
I really enjoyed getting involved with the Lord of the Rings swords, because it was always a question of paring it down, of making the blade slimmer, of making it shorter, making it more real, even though we're not talking about real swords.
The actor may turn up a year and a half after you first started designing that weapon. It's therefore a great thing when you finally present the weapon to the actor.
I really enjoyed working with Richard Taylor and all the people at the Weta Workshop, because they, like Bob Anderson, were sticklers for detail.
The attention to detail that these guys devoted to items that may not necessarily be visible to the camera, at least not on first viewing, but that they're there as an actor, was wonderful to have. Those kind of props to really help transport you to that time and place.